Asia.
I was realizing that I'm always wearing yoga clothes, so I made a special effort. That's
I'm
the
wearing yoga clothes today.
it's definitely not that I have not done my washing and I don't know where my like clothes are. That's not the reason at all. So now I'm going into my fancier clothes because I just don't know where like anything else is.
But you're beautiful in everything. You
So
rock.
do you.
Thank you. This is the same for all our beautiful girls out there, right? As long as you have the confidence, you have the what's it, that badass, attitude. You can rock anything. You can rock
Oh yeah,
any piece. Yeah. We don't let the clothes define us, right? So speaking of
100%.
defining, yes, what is our topic today, Amy?
So today we've got the topic of you are not your number. You're more than your number. And your number is obviously the number that the scale says. And we are here to talk about the fact that, as we touched on last week, I actually don't weigh myself ever. And I have lost a lot of weight over the last few years. Like a lot of people who my friends will vouch for that. You guys might not believe me, you'll be like, whatever. But no, like a lot. And, and I never weighed myself during that whole time. So yeah,
Wow.
over to Jing.
Yes, that's amazing. Like this is actually something that we both feel very strong about, this topic that we have to discuss here with you girls, especially because, I have a body transformation, weight loss coaching background. And, the whole weight scale thing, the number is a huge thing, it's a huge part of this whole process of like, changing your body and also tracking your body composition, the changes and the progress. And also Amy, in a couple of weeks ago, we talked about back in when she was competing, she has to also be sure that her muscle weight was not too much, all these things, right? So this whole weight scale, this number thing has been a huge factor, but also psychologically, that's what we want to talk about today. How also psychologically it can also defeat us. It can also do damage to us. Right? So how can we actually treat this whole our relationship with the numbers in a healthy way, and also how do we not let the number, the weight scale number, define us? And Amy, good on you, for not for not weighing yourself for so many years and still be able to, keep your body in a healthy and also in a happy and healthy state. And that is actually very, very important. And yeah, so before we get into it, I just want to tell everybody that if you weigh yourself this morning and if the scale tells you something else, don't be upset. Don't be upset if the number does not change, or if the number is bigger than yesterday or smaller than yesterday. Don't let that dictate your emotion for today. Okay, so I'll share a bit more about that in a second. But I'll pass it over to Amy, and we can start with maybe just asking you girls, whoever's watching right now, type in the chat box, what sort of like situations have you been in where you're very troubled by seeing, what's on the scale. And also, like from Amy's experience, what has she been experiencing in the past? How maybe, in some ways, how the scale has helped her, but also not help her.
Well, yeah, I think as I started talking, you guys know I can talk and talk and talk. When I'm with Jing, particularly, we just talk. But
Energy.
it's bouncing off each other. In all seriousness, I was just thinking just then, I was replaying in my mind this journey that I went on when I first like really committed to lose the weight that I'd put on during that dark time that I went through. And I was thinking, why did I stop weighing myself? And I was replaying all those moments where I was working my ass off to lose weight. And then I dread standing on the scale, because the times before that I'd stood on the scale, having worked my ass off, I'd look down, I'd see probably not lost weight, actually gained weight. And that feeling of, what's the feeling? How does it resonate? That was like, I don't know, it's just a real low vibration feeling of like shame, failure, nothing, worthlessness, nothing I can do is ever good enough, and I can't succeed at this, all in one, just like bam. And over again, that pattern: stand on the scale, look down, all that, like I just mentioned, those negative vibrations just pushing me down, right down to shame at the bottom of the vibrational spectrum. And it just became like a real thought pattern, belief system that would make me dread standing on the scales, for one. Not a nice way, to start the day. And like, two, just went really backwards, because I was obviously manifesting the numbers going up, because in my mind, I've worked really hard. I know I'm going to stand on the scale and see the numbers go up, and I know I'm going to feel shitty. And it was just like over and over again. So I was manifesting that just pattern. So eventually, I stopped weighing myself for the longest time, and I just focused on the exercise and feeling good. And I just thought, I'm not even going to look. Actually, I started to think, well, I'm not going to look for a month. And then I got into the exercise. I was like doing really well. People started to say, oh, you seem to like have lost a little bit of weight. I just felt really good about that. And then I thought, maybe I should weigh myself to validate that they've just said, and say, actually, I've lost weight. I was like, well, what if I stand on the scale again? No, not going there. I'll just keep going. I'll just keep running. And then I started back in the pool, and I just carried on that momentum. And every time I questioned, should I weigh myself to see how much I've lost, I would think, well, if it's just going to get me down, if it's just going to say, well, you haven't lost that much after all, or maybe you even gain something, because I'm going to ask Jing to explain a bit more, hopefully, the science behind it. If I put on muscle, maybe I gain weight. And then I'm just going to break that forward momentum that I got with my training and my fitness. So I just kept moving forward, not looking back, not looking at the scale, just move. And that's everything, really. And I made so much progress.
Yeah, that's really amazing. Actually, we've seen a lot of cases like that, in our community where, when people actually transform for the better, when the body is healthier, more athletic, athletic performance better. And also, like you said, like you've gained more muscle tone and more muscle strength. That is actually when you weigh, if you just look at a whole weight number, actually you actually weigh more than before, because the muscles actually are heavier and more dense. Right. And, this is actually where if you, like you said, everybody commented that you've lost weight. I'm sure when you put on your clothes and when you look at yourself, you can also visually see that significant difference. But however, the number tells you something else. And, like in our coaching, when we do the body transformation and all that, weight management, tells you something else. I hear myself. That's all right.
Sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, that's all
I wanted
right.
to see if there's any comments. Jinx, I can hear myself. Maybe I've been speaking so much now that there's no.
I know, I hear my echoes, right? I'm not going crazy. So yeah, we actually also have another device where we do the body composition, which I'm sure Amy is also familiar with, where we do the body composition assessing. So you assess, the amount of muscles that you have in your body, the amount of body fat and visceral fat, bone mass, and water, and all these things, right? So from that, then we can actually detect, okay, how much muscle have you increased, right? Okay, how much body fat you've decreased. So I just have to say that when people, come to us, they want to know about the numbers and that, I'll actually direct their attention more on, the body composition, right? Also in terms of health speaking, like, okay, we need to look at the, the amount of muscles that you have versus the amount of fat you have, and for what purpose. Also, the purpose is very important, right? Like, say, for example, someone like Amy, who's an athlete, then we need to look at, okay, what is she trying to achieve? Okay, if she's trying to achieve to, get to a athletic performance peak, then this is the body composition that we can aim for. But also don't let that be the definition as well, right? And like I said, all the numbers and even the device assessment, composition assessment, it's all there as a reference to help you track. But like I said, I have a lot of students who also get really, really, how should I say it, like, get very mentally traumatized by seeing the numbers. And you know what I tell them? I tell them what Amy did. I tell them to ditch the scale. Like, just ditch the scale altogether. If every time when you get on the scale, you don't feel good about yourself, you feel shitty, you feel like giving up, what is the point of doing it, right? Why don't you just ditch the scale? There are many other ways you can track your progress, right? Just by taking photos of yourself, right? Over time, then you can definitely see the change. And another very simple way to track your progress without looking at the scale is simply by wearing your clothes. Always put on that. For example, you always have this favorite dress of yours, and you know that, oh, today is day one. You put on this dress, you physically know how tight it is or how loose it is around certain area. And maybe 1 month later, you put it on and see how it feels, right? And then, given that it's not being washed too many times and being stretched many times, sometimes that can really be misleading, right? Because the t-shirt has been stretched too many times.
Look, it's loose now.
Exactly. Yeah. So, hopefully it's like one of those items that, doesn't get deformed too easily. Yeah. So when you put it on, at certain, like period, like every month you put it on, that will actually give you some indication, right? Like pants, usually that will give you indication of, like how your body has changed. And I usually tell the girls, judge by the clothes. And that's usually, like, I'm sure Amy has gone through that too. And also I have personal experience that, oh, okay, you don't think about it. You basically follow like a healthy diet plan, or, balanced nutrition, whatever your coach tells you, exercise and nutrition, and just enjoy the process. Really, really enjoy that. Like what Amy has shared with us, right? Really enjoy it, and don't think about checking your weight scale every, I don't know, day or every few weeks. And then that's when the changes will happen. And when you put on that dress, you're like, oh, I didn't even know I lost weight.
I think thanks so much for that, Jing. I think this I would love to know a little bit more about the even the science behind it, because I know a bit, but probably if I start, someone's going to dispute my claims. But I at least know that muscle, that protein, weighs more than fat for the most part. There's lots of different types of muscle. When we define ourselves by our number, and this is why Jing and I were talking about, well, we should definitely do this topic. We are not defined by our numbers because there's so many different factors to actually take into account with your weight. So the one that we associate, what's the word? I weigh a lot, has an direct association with the word I'm fat, right? This is it. This not actually, if we take the social conditioning away from I weigh a lot, then actually, well, what are the factors that we can consider? I have a lot of muscle. We were just talking the other week about how actually some people want that. We all know these people, right? And I still, no matter how much I want to empathize with them, I still feel they're very incredibly lucky. I have a friend who's like, I can't gain weight. I really want to gain weight. Boy, do I wish that I had your let's say like your chunky physique. I would die for that. I want to have curves. And she couldn't gain weight, and she was like eating McDonald's and everything, and still couldn't gain weight. And that was her, that was her battle. So for her, I weigh more has a positive association with it. So if one person, even if it's the collective, actually considers weighing a lot as being a negative thing, and other person actually thinks, well, I want to weigh more, that's a positive thing. How can we rely on this label, this your weight? How can you rely on it? It's not reliable. Actually, if we look into the cultural factors too, when I was living in Thailand, actually being
petite, right?
Well, being fat was desirable for the same reason that I was for being bigger is desirable, because for one, the girls wanted to be curvy, and have the boobs and have the ass and have the legs and all the curves. The second thing, actually, in the Thai culture, at least, maybe it's probably evolving from there now, but in the older Thai culture, being fat means you've got lots of money to eat.
Wealthy.
Okay. Yeah. So fat is desirable because it equals wealth.
Yeah.
So, again, another example of the fact that how can we rely on this number when actually it's conditioned, and the meaning behind this number really depends on so many different factors. Your unique, your belief system, the cultural factors too, whether or not we're talking about protein, fat, and it's actually it's unhealthy especially for women to get too lean, because if we look at what happens at those times, then it messes up with our hormones. And not getting into guys on the call, I know Axel's here, don't want to embarrass him, messes up with our hormones, throws everything off. That's the surefire sign from our body that we do need a little bit of fat. So we can't be saying, right, my weight, if it's a lot or it's high or low, means anything good or bad about me. We should take that aside from it. And the other thing that, like, really for me, as I was just mentioning earlier, is like, and Jing was saying she has a lot of clients who struggle with that battle about getting on the scale. And I was replaying everything about my, my progress over the last few years in my mind. And it was like that forward momentum, right? I'm healthy, I'm enjoying it, just as Jing was saying. I'm feeling good, I'm loving the exercise. That's like forward momentum. That's like going up, up, up into positive vibrations. Then I stand on the scale. Oh, it's not gone down, it's gone up. Shame. That it just takes that. Then you have to climb back up. And if you really want to be getting from here to here, progressing, you need to just keep moving forward, keep that momentum. And anything that is pulling you back, like the scales, just ditch it. Because it's really about you and your journey. And like as Jing was saying, when the times in my life when I've been like my happiest and most calm and most at peace, I found it a lot easier to lose weight anyway. So you guys should just be focusing on that.
Definitely. Yeah. I love what Amy just said there. And while Amy was saying that, the times that she was actually getting her body into, like the healthier, lighter, more energetic, when she was able to shed off the weight, was when she was really enjoying everything. And that actually takes away I have to also mention that the stress hormone actually helps our body store body fat. And, those who are, more stressing life, then the more stress you have, the higher your cortisol level is, and the easier it is for your body to keep all that keep all that body fat, or like the unwanted, let's say the unwanted stored fat, right? But when you actually work on your emotions, work on yourself, then you obviously help yourself reduce the stress level, the cortisol level, and then that's when everything starts to work magically together. And that is why, we always tell everybody, you have to enjoy the process. You have to find, the right type of, how should I say, the lifestyle, the right type of holistic lifestyle to help you get healthier, to help you get, whether you want to gain, more healthy weight, or lose healthy weight, lose weight healthily, right? You have to find that right way to do it. Don't go on the crash diet. How many times have we heard about that? Don't go on that crash diet for like a month just because you got a wedding to go to, or your own wedding, right? And then you end up looking somehow like, in your own definition, that skinnier version of yourself. You look better on the photos and all that, but then you may end up damaging your health because of all the extreme measures that you've taken on, right? And also during the whole process, you may not even enjoy a lot of things that you do, right? You may complain that, oh, I'm eating salad every day. I don't even look at salad again. How many times have I heard that? If you're one of those people who have been there, like you kind of feel so miserable eating salad every day, type yes in the comment below. Well, I'm not saying eating salad is a bad thing. I'm just saying
I
that
actually love salad.
I know, right? That's why I'm about to bring it back, saying that, for some people, they may not have the whole habit of like eating a lot of vegetables, fresh vegetables and fruits. And then suddenly they know that, oh, I got to cut everything out. How about you find a, happy way to ease into, to introduce more, fresh, produce into your diet bit by bit, right? So that you actually create that balance, and you start to educate yourself on why you're doing these, and how can, this fresh and balanced food help you with your health. And when you become healthier, this is something I want everyone to take a note of. Tattoo in your mind and write it down in the comments. When you become healthier, your weight will, if you're working on losing weight, your weight will come off. When you become healthier, you will gain the weight. It is often that you're not doing the right things, like you're not putting the right nutrition to your body, you're not moving your body, right? If you're sedentary or doing other things which you're not moving your body, and also when you're always in the low vibration, this is when your body is not getting that nice, I call it healthy nourishment. And this is when your body's not actually changing, right? Because think about, what are you giving to your body? Are you giving you all the high vibe food? Are you giving your body that nourishment? If you're not doing that, then you can't really expect your body to physically change. So this is what I want to, make a note of. I know everyone's always like asking me, like, can you give me like a quick ab workout? Can you like quickly tell me what to eat to get like, a flat tummy, all this kind of like shortcuts, right? But I'll tell you what, all the girls, there's no shortcut. You have to be patient. You have to love your body first. You have to love your body. You work out, You know, you do yoga, you move your body because you love your body, not because, oh, I hate this whatever shape and weight that I have, right? You do all that things because you love your body, and you're going to nourish your body with the right type of food because you love your body, and your body will hear that.
I love that. I was listening and I was just thinking, actually, no, I had a really nerdy moment. I was like, oh, I know the science behind this.
Oh yeah, please. Yes, you know.
I should put my glasses on about this. It was when you were talking about all the stress, and I was thinking, how, yeah, actually, so we all know that we have a response in our body, a nervous system response and a hormone response to stress. And when you are stressed, you're in survival mode, right? So actually what happens when you're stressed is your whole, like your metabolism and your digestive system slows down, okay? Because it's trying to prioritize the things that you need for like fast survival, okay? So it's going to be shortcutting the things like metabolism a little bit, suppressing it, and also immune system, it does that too, but that's a whole other thing, in order to focus on, you know, you're just staying alive. So if this is an evolution, it's not like I'm stressed because I've got a lot on at work. Your body's just doesn't say, well, is it the right type of stress? Should I shut down the digestive system? Stress is stress to the body. So notice that by getting stressed, by getting depressed, actually you're going the opposite direction. So at least let me say, if you're one of the people who are struggling with the scales and the numbers, and you're in that rut where you're like 1 week losing a lot and then not, then just for now, like Jing was saying, ditch the scales and purely focus on finding a fitness that you enjoy, finding a diet that is pretty healthy, slightly lower calorie, because the fastest way, no matter, people always want shortcuts, but honestly, literally the most simple way to lose weight is your activity levels are higher than your calorie input. That's literally it. So if you slightly reduce your calories and slightly improve your exercise, then you're going to be boosting all those positive vibes, and it's just going to be so much easier. And just keep that forward momentum going. And anything that is stressing you out, if it's the scales, whatever, you need to, let's say we need to overcome that social conditioning, right? We need to get you out of that downward spiral, right? I'm not losing weight, I'm doing all this, well, I can never win at anything. Oh, whatever I try, I don't succeed. This is just another case, right? I tried to lose weight and I failed. Fine, I'm going to sit on the couch and binge watch Netflix. It doesn't matter anyway. Doritos come out, all of that's going down. And eventually you're going to have to pick yourself up, go back to the gym, undo everything that you just, you know, messed up on the couch with Netflix. And it's just going to be a big battle. So your one focus is like, how can I move forward? And I think for me, like the one that, like, they're not looking back, they're not looking at the scales and just enjoying it. And then people start to say, you know, they might not say you've lost weight, but like, you look good. Like you've got that glow, and you start to get compliments, and it's like, oh, I feel good. Yeah, I feel good. Yeah, okay. And keep going. Oh, you might have lost a little bit of weight. Really? Oh, I feel amazing. And it's positive. And then, like, for me, it got to the point where every time I questioned, should I get on the scales, I just thought, no, it might just to take my momentum backwards. And then one day it really hit me, because I was at a swim competition. I was playing tracksuit bottoms, and like literally I stood up and they just dropped. I was like, okay, right, then now I've actually
see what I said?
Yeah.
You know, use the clothes, use the clothing.
I had to buy new clothes and everything, and then it was just a no-brainer. But that whole experience for me was just so much more positive because of not focusing on the numbers, I think. And yeah, I'll pass back over to Jing.
That's so beautiful. Yeah, I love what you're just saying here. You know, like that is absolutely beautiful. And you know, that is one thing, like what Amy said about, you know, the mood, the positive vibes. That is something that a lot of people actually don't talk about, because you know, like the whole diet and weight loss industry, you know, that's actually where I come from. You know, like I actually, the past few, how many years, 5-6 years, actually my coaching has really been focusing on body transformation, and that is what I'm known for. People still come to me, ask me, give me the exercise and all that, right? But right now my focus is really on holistic, you know, like, you know, the body, mind and spirit. And also I found that a lot of times, you know, those who are always so focused on the technicality of like weight loss, right? You know, like we're just talking about, it's calorie in, calorie out, and you know, like eat high, high dense, high nutrient dense food, but low calorie food that will help your body lose the weight. And also when you increase your activity levels, you burn the calories, right? So you consume more than what you burn more than what you consume. Okay, so there's the science and technicality side of it, but also the emotions, our personal vibrations, that actually plays a huge part as well. You could do all that things, all the science, all the methods and technical things, but then just because of how you feel here can really throw everything out as well. And then being on the scale plays a huge part, right? So I also want to mention that, like what Amy was saying, that, oh, she was feeling good, but then she told herself not to stand on the scale because they may, it may actually, push her a few steps back. Now that she's really advanced, like 8 steps forward, 8 steps forward, sometimes by being on the scale, it could like push her back 10 steps, right? So actually, for a lot of you who are feeling similar out there, have the similar relationship with scale, what you could do is to actually relabel that, relabel what scale means to you as just a scale, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you can tell yourself, oh, the scale is broken. Because that's how I actually changed my relationship with the scale. Like, seriously, my composition scale, I have a composition machine. Somehow, right, the composition machine doesn't show much changes for my body. And then again, like I was telling you, all of you, right? It's just for reference. It's not
Yeah.
100% right, right? It's a machine. How can you let the machine dictate how you feel and what your body is like, right? And like there were times I was like, I'm so sure that, my clothes and everything is telling me that my body is different now. Why is the machine still telling me the
Yeah.
same thing,
It's
right?
broken. I love.
Exactly. So I relabel that. You're just another buddy there. You're not my best buddy. You have your good days and your bad days, right? So
Yeah.
I'm just like, I basically just cut off that whole emotional ties with the machine. And I just use it as a tool, like no emotions attached. It's a tool, okay, right? And actually, I don't really use it much for myself nowadays because I know how it would make me feel. So I use the same method that I tell everybody that, ditch the scale, focus on, like everything that you have to do, your holistic, your wellness plan, your healthy lifestyle, and focus on tracking your own progress by actually feeling yourself. How do you feel inside out? Do you have any indigestions? Do you have any constipation, right? Those things really matter. Do you
Mm-hmm.
feel any bloating inside your stomach? And
Yeah,
how
water weighs a lot, doesn't it, actually? I think, yeah, and that's not something that we think is bad. We need to have water. So I think water actually takes up like a huge chunk of our weight.
or what is 60
Oh, your
70%?
also your brain. I think your brain weighs loads, doesn't it? So just
Oh yes.
next time the numbers are going up, just be like, my brain is growing. I'm just not smart now. So I've got
Bones.
to
Our bones weigh a lot
Yes.
too. Yeah.
Actually, that's a really good point. I was just thinking with the body composition, I actually was wondering if like for these guys, maybe I considered getting on the scales. And if I plug the numbers in, at least what used to happen to me when I was an athlete and I was really fit was that I would show that I was obese. Like it would, just so that if I put it in and you got the chart right that the government issues like your BMI and are you
Yes, yes.
how was your healthy weight? And because this happens with Louis even when he was like really skinny. I think we've got really dense bones because it would show me as it would even as I am now. It would say you're obese for sure.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Beast meaning like big bones, right?
Yeah,
Heavy
exactly.
bone. That's a good thing. Don't be fooled by all the cultural, beliefs saying that, oh, you're big boned and this and that. If you have dense bones, that
Yeah.
means you're healthy. That's a good thing.
Oh, it is because I've never broken a bone. I need
Exactly.
to.
Look at that.
I'm
No
I'm not even going to
fractures.
touch the wood for superstition because I'm confident and I'm gonna walk out the door and just wipe out. But I've actually never broken a bone, and most of my family, I think, also haven't broken bones. And I think the reason is because of the bone density is really high.
Yes,
So,
exactly. That's a good thing. Embrace it. Like that
yeah,
means you have less, like very minimal chance of breaking your bones, having bone fractures. And also for those who are, like going into the aging phase, when you're aging, like you have, less chance of, having, even, like some sort of like bone density issues, which a lot of, seniors face, right? So it's a
Mhm.
good thing. And you do want to actually keep your bone density there intact, by incorporating the right type of exercise, resistance exercise, and also having a good amount of mineral in your diet. So those are things that we look at when we are, checking the compositions and talking about, health in general, right? And, I was actually it's great that Amy mentioned about water and water, because that's something that I actually was going to touch on, saying that, if you wake up and you weigh yourself, or randomly you weigh yourself and see that, oh my God, why am I so much heavier? You have to take into consideration of what did you eat today, right? Your food plays a big part. Now, whatever you put into your body weighs, and how much water you're drinking. Water weighs a lot too, and there's water in our muscle tissues as well. And also, did you go to the toilet today, right? Those people, like, I'll tell you what, like I know we're not going to go into disgusting, gross details, but I've coached a lot of students who don't have really healthy gut. They don't have a healthy gut. So a lot of them don't really have regular bowel movement. So, just, what I'm getting at. Picture how much toxin you've accumulated inside your body as a result of not, eliminating the waste, right? And those weigh a lot too. And when they're able to have that healthy detox, when they're able to eliminate all the waste out of the body, of course, the weight goes down, right? Because all that toxin weigh a lot. Not only about the weight, but also the toxin is actually spreading inside your body, and that is so unhealthy. So that's something I want to mention. All these things actually make up your weight as well, right? And as part of your healthy body, the bones, you have to have dense bones, but because we have different body types, right? That's also something I want to mention. If you happen to born in a particular body type, that you have lighter bones and maybe smaller frames, don't judge yourself for that. That is your nature. But what you need to do is make sure you find yourself a coach, and be sure to get that right type of balanced diet and exercise, which are suitable for your body type, so that you can get the most out of it without comparing your body to, say, another person. Say if you're someone who's born to be petite and small frame, that's okay. Don't compare yourself to someone like Amy. She's all-rounder, athletic body, and think that I'll never get there. Like, work on your body for what body type that you have. Some body types are just naturally more rounder, right? More bigger framed, and, tend to look a bit more, what's the word, like bulky, so you have to understand, what body type you have, what genes that you have as well, right? Some genes just tend to be more curvier. Some genes tend to be more muscular. Some genes determine that you're more, I don't know, maybe more frail looking. Okay, that's not an encouraging word. Smaller looking, right? So it's all about the ancestry, right? So don't blame on your ancestors. Embrace your ancestors, and be educated. Get that, be well informed, and know how to work with your own body as well. So that is my message.
I think yeah, like, you can look at it a different perspective actually. Swimmers, because there's different strokes in swimming. My stroke was breaststroke, and if you look at most breaststroke swimmers are, I think they call it mesomorph. So the more box, the boxy one, the small boxy one is me, like with the So breaststroke swimmers tend to be sort of shorter and more square. And then there's the ectomorph, they're really tall, thin ones. Those are the front crawl and the backstroke, and each body type has its advantages and disadvantages. But I found that out at football on Friday with the team, because
I saw that.
they were all terrified of me. They were all really scared of me. So my team were like, whenever someone got the ball, like, Amy, go get it, because I just run at them, and they just, no, okay, you can have it.
You can help the team score, right?
Master, like, literally, I was on the floor a few times trying to tackle Master. He's
I'll let you have it.
interesting tactics Master has. We're playing again on Friday. So
that's awesome. Can't wait to see the next video of that.
I was looking at the comments, and Axel was there, and I just wanted to give Axel a shout out, and all of them.
Hello.
Axel, we all are saying how good you look and how fit you look, so you should definitely take that compliment from us. Don't go on the scale.
Yes.
He's really worked hard and enjoyed it and showed up, and he's looking very fit now. And he always was looking good before, now he's looking even better.
Yes.
So we've got Tina. Hi, Tina. We love you. Rena
Oh,
and
likes,
Guna.
yeah, Rena. I,
Like,
I didn't see the comments because it was not refreshing. So I was
sometimes
like,
it's
okay, no
delay.
one's looking.
And Nick. So sending you all loads of love. I think
Inguna. Okay, I think he's
one more I think I
Inguna.
wanted
Thank
to
you for watching.
just
Yeah.
finish up like just with yoga really, because this has been the one that I think a lot of people have seen some great results. So I know that Ara, who might watch the replay, I think she usually watches our lives, she was saying like the stubborn weight that she couldn't
Yes.
lose for ages was coming up with yoga. And Master's always saying, and this makes a lot of sense, that that we if we do yoga, it increases the fire in the body. Now you
Mhm.
should think about your metabolism as a fire. When I heard it this way, it made so much sense.
Yeah.
Because often if we starve ourselves, if we get so hung up on the numbers on the scale and we just think, fine, the only way for me to lose the weight, to get the numbers down, is to starve myself. Actually, you're going the opposite direction, because your metabolism is like a fire. And what happens to the fire if you stop fueling it? It cuts
Right.
out. So your metabolism
Exactly.
slows down, and then anything you eat is immediately stored as fat, because your body's like, I need survival. I need to store this in case I never eat again. And so just don't do that. Don't get caught up on the numbers. But yoga for me actually has gotten rid of some of the stubborn, like I was saying fat, mum belly
Mom bits. Mom
yeah,
bits.
that I
Yeah.
was struggling with. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's I think that's everything.
Definitely.
I've run out. Maybe I've run out. No, I could probably still keep talking.
No, no, we can go on and on and on. But for
But
today, this is, we Amy and I both thought that, talking about the weighing yourself, the scale, the number, and also just the whole weight, body weight in general is a good topic to share with everybody. And also,
mhm.
we're here to advocate a healthy all-round, the holistic lifestyle to everybody. And that is also something that I'm strongly advocating as well. Even though, I do have, like a body transformation, weight loss background. And, sometimes I do call it that, I was in the diet industry and I have seen a lot of like cases where, there were good cases, but also there were unhealthy cases where, people's weight bounced back or people lost the weight, but then they are not mentally, well, or they're still not very comfortable, not comfortable, confident, and they're still very, how should I say, they still have a lot to work on the mindset part. So that really is like a big thing for me, because like for both of us, we're here to help everybody become the better version of themselves holistically, not just like about, oh, looking good, having six pack, right? And that is not really the message of, what yoga is as well. That is not, what a healthy life is all about as well. So, so this is really important for us to like tackle the basics. The basic is, you got to understand, what the way means. Your way is made up of so many things, in your body, including your emotions as well, right? Including what exactly do you do with your body, your lifestyle, your relationship with your body, everything. Right. So don't look at the weight as something that defines you. Your weight does not define you, but also, don't take it on the other side of the spectrum. Like, oh, okay, Ray, ditch the scale, Ray. I'm going to ditch everything, right? Some people really interpret it that way.
Yeah,
Ditch the
yeah.
scale and ditch all that healthy lifestyle, ditch everything, just eat McDonald's and do whatever I want, right? That is
No,
not self-care. That is not self-love, self-care.
always balance. Always balance. Care, but not too much. Care a bit. Care enough, but not too much. Definitely. 100%.
Exactly. Everything is about balance and finding that equilibrium, right? So, yeah, so, like we want to basically conclude today's talk with maybe, I don't know, Amy share some final words of wisdom with us. And maybe we can
Um,
give them a heads up of what we're going to be talking about next week.
oh, you put me on the spot. But words of wisdom.
Actually, I don't know what I'm
I
going to
think you
say
covered
too.
it today. I think Jing, yeah, it's weird. I think I've said everything maybe for now, but I think Jing, you covered it beautifully. So I want to leave with what you were saying there. You're not your number. Your number at the end of the day. Let's just think of it this way. Um, your weight. Just take a second just to center yourself and check in with your body, and think about, when we say our weight, what does that mean? Think about your cells that are keeping you alive. Think about your heart that's beating. Think about your brain that is giving you these amazing experiences such as vision and sensitivity and emotions like love. Think about your eyes, even they weigh something. They're allowing you to see things right now. You know, your blood and your water is nourishing you and your body. Your, you know, your intestines and all your digestive system is just keeping you going every single day. Your muscles are making you strong. Your bones are supporting you, literally holding you up.
Mm-hmm.
So all of this is what, when we say my weight, that's all of that. That's you. That's you. And you're beautiful and amazing, right? So when you say your weight, actually take into account what you're saying right there. And I don't want to lose these things. You know, I want to hate these things. I don't want to hate my weight. I want to, you know, appreciate it. Take a second just to appreciate.
That's so beautiful. That's so beautiful, Amy. We all need to hear that, right? And while you're saying that, I was just inspired to share this, that, you know, anytime that we are experiencing, we're aware of our weight, that means it's a reminder we're alive, we're living on Earth. Because if you go to another planet, like the moon, there's no gravity, right?
Yeah,
There's no
exactly.
gravity. It's
Oh
kind of
yeah,
like,
that's a cool
so your
one.
weight does not exist.
You have a problem with your weight, just you can move to the moon. Actually, you're way less on
You're
way less
weightless.
on the
You're
moon.
totally
So yeah, at the
weightless,
end of the
right?
day, just go to the moon. Or worst case scenario, this is how you guys should weigh yourself in the morning. I did this for a while. Okay, so imagine this is the scale, right? Okay, I'm gonna get on the scale. That's good enough. Yeah. Take one toe and then off you get. Yep, good enough for me. And then that's your weight
Let's
for the
give,
morning.
yes, exactly. Oh, you know what? Just give the weight scale to someone. You know, let it be fostered by a family friend or someone for a while, you know,
Oh,
like
that's
move
an
it out of
idea.
your house.
I
Yeah.
actually was thinking about doing that. Like you could just get your partner to or a family member to read it, write it down, and then not tell you. And then that could be like you record it, so you don't actually look at the numbers. That's another way to do it, I think.
Yeah, unless you feel very tempted to,
Yeah.
to take a sneak peek or something, or just store away,
Yeah.
bring it to like mom's house or someone's house, right? So
Yeah.
it's outside of your physical environment that you don't feel, because sometimes for some people it could be a habit, it could be addiction that they're so addicted to, like stepping on it, right? So we'll give you girls more tips next time, because I think Amy and I can think of brainstorm like 10,000 ways for you to change
Yeah.
your relationship with the weight scale and for you to relabel it. But for today, I hope everybody had got some great golden nuggets out of this session, and it was really beautiful what Amy said. And also I hope everybody heard what I said about the moon and the earth. We have the gravity on earth, which is why we
Yeah.
feel the weight, right? And it's a beautiful thing.
Exactly.
Yes.
Oh, I had like a nerdy science moment then. Yeah.
Do you want to share?
I should put my glasses on. Yeah, that's actually true. I just want to let you know that weight isn't correct. When we say weight, we mean our mass, because actually, as Jing was saying, if you go to the moon, your weight changes. So what you're saying is my weight isn't actually your weight at all. It's only the number that you're seeing on the scale because the gravity is pushing you down onto the scale. It
And
doesn't
it's
define you.
relative,
Yeah, it
right? It's
actually.
relative.
So science is even saying that your weight is not you. Your mass is you. So let's
Right?
go with science.
Yes, let's go with science. Exactly. Science is very spiritual too at the same time. Yes, so we're very happy to be here to, once again share this healthy message with all of you. And, Amy and I will continue to be here every Wednesday, 5 p.m. UK time. So, tell your girlfriends and tell everybody. This is open to everybody, even though we are, speaking to our beautiful women creators out there. And don't forget, I have to definitely, tell everybody to, follow Amy. Also, if you want to know more about Y4M yoga, follow our tribe and reach out to Amy, reach out to any of the Y4M yoga teachers. If Y4M yoga teachers are watching, please write Y4M teachers down there, because yoga can definitely change your life. It can definitely help you with, the weight. Yeah, that's not even a problem. It's very natural, and it can help you with your health, your mindset, your spiritual practice. It's basically a holistic practice, which I am a big fan of. I'm a big advocate of Y4M yoga, and I have Y4M yoga as part of my body confidence coaching as well. So, I want to say congratulations to all the girls, who participated in the 5-day challenge last week,
Yes.
the body confidence 5-day challenge
Awesome.
last week. And also a big congratulations to those of you who are coming into our program, which is starting this coming Saturday. And we still have the sponsorship available. So if you haven't got a chance to grab it, make sure you reach out to me and reach out to your team leader for that. Yes. So, okay, I am looking forward to our hangout next week. And thank you so
Yes.
much, Amy.
Thank you,
Yes.
Jing. Maybe they could, if you guys want to comment and say what you would like to talk about next week. Otherwise, we'll just decide. But we kind of want to hear what you want to know, what you want to hear from us. So we're here to serve you at the end of the day. And yeah, thank you so
Exactly.
much for tuning in and sending. Thank you, Jing. Lots of love to you. And I love our hangouts every week.
Yes, me too. Thank you so much, Amy. And yes, do let us know when you want to hear from us, and we're here to serve you. So much love to everybody. Much love to you, Amy. Speak to
Love.
you. Okay. See you next week and speak to you girls soon. Bye. Thank you for
Bye.
watching.